Hey, everybody out there in internet land. This is Live at 5 at Broadway.com. It is Thursday, March 15th, and I am Ryan Lee Gilbert.
And I'm Paul Wontorek.
And we are joined in the studio by Caitlin Gallup.
Hi.
And, oh my God, Isabel Keating is here.
We have Isabel Keating
Broadway's
here with us.
Wicked!
Yes. Very
she plays
exciting.
Morrible, everyone.
Madame Morrible is in studio.
The house.
Yes.
And I love Morrible because Morrible actually says Wicked.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Morrible,
sort of like
Morrible is
moment.
low-key the best character
Yeah,
in
Morrible's
Wicked.
amazing.
Yes.
And we love her.
We do.
So we're going to talk to her.
Yes, we're going to get to Isabel Keating in a moment. But first, Caitlin, why don't you tell us about today's Top 5?
All right. So, the first thing that happened today is that the Harper Lee estate filed a lawsuit against the upcoming Broadway adaptation of To Kill a Mockingbird.
I know, what a bummer.
What a big bummer.
We're all excited about this To Kill a Mockingbird. So Aaron Sorkin,
Dream Team, yeah.
Right, wrote this adaptation, and it's going to star Jeff Daniels as Atticus Finch.
Amazing.
And Tanya Carter, a representative for the estate of Harper Lee, has sued the producers of the new production, basically saying that they're deviating too far from the depiction of Atticus Finch in the book. And I guess Atticus Finch is a character based on Harper Lee's father.
Right, yes. And like in the book, he's immediately a hero. He's a hero throughout the whole thing. And in this production, apparently, we haven't seen the script or anything, but apparently he's given more of an arc of where he doesn't start off as the hero, but he becomes the hero we know and love by the end of the show.
Well, this is going to be interesting.
So,
we don't know much about the legal background of this and what kind of rights they have and what's already been negotiated, but stay tuned, and I'm sure this is a story that will unfold.
Yeah.
All right. So we also learned today that Sarah Bareilles could be coming back to Broadway or the stage soon.
Yeah, like a stage is in Sarah Bareilles' future. We were just talking about this on the last Live at 5. So this is the Alice in Wonderland musical that Duncan Sheik is working on.
Alice by Heart.
Alice by Heart was they did a workshop with MCC, Kurt Deutsch, and the title was Alice by Heart then. And so now Jessie Nelson, the book writer of Waitress, she's involved now, and Steven Sater is involved now as well. They're all collaborating, and Sarah Bareilles is going to star in this.
Well, she gave us a quote saying she hopes to.
She's got a lot of things going on, but like she hopes to star. And they did.
I think that's like I'm probably doing this,
right?
But
exactly.
It's not signed yet.
And that workshop, Alice by Heart, had some big names: Ben Platt, Noah Galvin, Ashley Park, Mary Testa, Anthony Ramos. Big people participated in that. So people seem to be excited about it.
I've been hearing about this musical for a while, and it sounds pretty awesome.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's like a real modern sort of spin on Alice in Wonderland.
And Sarah Bareilles is great stage performer. Do what you want.
Yes, and we also found out that Chelina Kennedy had some kind of wonderful day yesterday.
Yes, Chelina Kennedy, the star of Broadway's beautiful, the Carole King musical. So they surprised her yesterday. It was her 1,000th performance as
insane.
Carole King.
1,000 performances.
She is now the longest running actress to play this part.
For sure.
She's phenomenal in the role.
She's so good.
I mean, that's the whole story. Go see her at the Stephen Sondheim Theater. It's not a Stephen Sondheim
Celebrate
musical.
her
It is the Carole King musical. And it's some kind of wonderful. And so anyway, check out the pictures of her being surprised.
She looks gorgeous.
On stage.
All right, something I know Ryan is very excited about. Bedknobs and Broomsticks, the stage musical, will make its world premiere.
I'm freaking out. So
really?
Yes.
You love this movie?
So I'm obsessed with this movie. Did you ever have a movie when you were a kid that you would just watch constantly to the
Grease
point where
2 and Eddie and the Cruisers.
We're to the point where I watched things on VHS tape and it would wear thin and there would be it would get fuzzy after a while. I'm obsessed with Bedknobs and Broomsticks. My poor babysitters.
I do have fond memories of it as well.
It's so good.
The bed flies.
The bed flies. They go underneath the ocean. They do spins. They play a cartoon soccer game. It's incredible. Like the whole thing. So, but anyway, this is happening at the Chicago Shakespeare Theater next May. So May of 2019, May 30th through July 28th. It will have the Richard M. Sherman and Robert B. Sherman songs from the movie with additional tunes by Neil Bartram and a new book by Brian Hill, who penned the Broadway musical The Story of My Life.
You know what's funny? I remember when Chitty Chitty Bang Bang came to Broadway, I sat down to watch the musical and I realized that I actually thought it was Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Like
really?
The plot that I thought was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was actually anyway, I didn't really know what I was looking at.
And
But I was waiting for the bed to fly, but it was a car.
Yeah. And a little fun fact, Bedknobs and Broomsticks didn't do all that well because it came so soon after Mary Poppins, and it tried to like plug into the same, but it's a sleeper hit, man.
So
It
get to
is-
Chicago.
Yes, I will.
Exciting.
I will be there. Yes.
All right, and last but certainly not least, happy opening to Escape to Margaritaville.
Jimmy Buffett, welcome
Yes.
to Broadway. Ryan
this
had a
show.
great time,
I had a
according to social
blast.
media the
I
other
did.
night at the Marquee Theater
Yes,
at
my-
Escape to Margaritaville.
It was great.
Yeah, this is a brand new jukebox musical using all Jimmy Buffett songs. It's a really great time. It stars Broadway.com vlogger Paul Alexander Nolan, Allison Love, Lisa Howard, Eric Peterson. Congratulations to
Yes.
everyone. Check out the site. We have a brand new Squigs. We have clips from the show.
There
We're
will
doing
be.
a lot of great coverage tonight at the opening. Right now, we're setting up. And yeah, it's going to be a real party tonight.
Yeah. A new red carpet challenge is on its way. It's going
all
to be
that.
fantastic.
And I also want to say, I'm going to take off, but I want to say also it's the first performance for My Fair Lady.
Yes, at Lincoln Center
Eliza
Theater.
Doolittle is back on Broadway,
Yes.
people. So happy first show, Lauren Ambrose, Harry Haddon Patton,
Yes.
right? Who he's a Broadway newbie. That's why I don't know how to say
Broadway
his name
newbie.
yet. But I met him. He's really charming.
I'm really excited. about this.
And of course, Diana Rigg, and of course, Norbert Leo Butz.
yes.
Back on Broadway. Always happy when that happens. So anyway, that's happening up at Lincoln Center.
Big night for Broadway tonight.
And I'm
Paul,
going to get
thank
out of
you.
here
Thank you
because
so
Madame
much.
Morrible needs to see.
Yes. Caitlin, why don't you tell us about our wonderful guest?
All right. Isabel Keating is currently starring as Madame Morrible in Wicked on Broadway. You might have previously seen her in The Boy from Oz, which she received a Tony nomination and a Drama Desk Award. Other Broadway productions include It's Only a Play, Hairspray, and Spider-Man. Off-Broadway, she has worked at the Atlantic Theater Company, Primary Stages, and Lincoln Center. Give her a follow on Instagram at Isabel Keating. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a change in the weather and welcome Ryan and Isabel.
Isabel, thank you so much for joining us. Look at these earrings, by the way. You have beautiful earrings on.
Thank you. Perhaps a change in the weather.
Exactly. We're so excited to have you here. You have been involved. You got involved with Wicked through the national tour. I'm
Yes.
national editor here, so that's how I first started covering.
Yes.
But how did Wicked come into your life?
Wicked came into my life like a tornado.
Well done.
But actually, it was completely unexpected. I was doing The Little Foxes at Arena Stage about a year and a half ago, and with the wonderful Mark Helgenberger. And
good.
we were doing that in Washington, D.C., and I got a call to come in and audition right at Tech. And for those of your audience who don't know what Tech is, that's where you put everything together and there's no time.
Right.
So I couldn't. I said, oh my gosh, I would love to. I can't. And they said, oh, don't worry about it. We have a tape of you from a couple of years ago. And I was like, oh boy. But apparently there was something in that
Yeah.
they saw. So
They
yeah.
saw future Morrible. As I said earlier in the show, I think low key Madame Morrible is the best character in this show. She's just fantastic. How much do you love playing her? It's just such a juicy, fun role, right?
It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's such a gift every night. And playing with this amazing company, Amanda Jane Cooper, who was just here. the other
We
day.
just had Jackie Burns
Jackie
here.
Burns,
Yeah.
the Green Girl. I hope everyone can see this cast. It's
Yeah.
incredible, and it's a thing for everyone. That's the thing. I come at it from a different point of view because I'm a tad older. Stay far away, but I think it's for families. I think
Yeah.
it's just fantastic. I love my character, and people say that she's mean. And I just can't say that. I love her so much.
Right.
She's misunderstood, woefully misunderstood.
Absolutely. And was there, because it's, there's the book and all of that, but did you come up with your own sort of backstory for Madame Morrible on where we pick up with her?
Well, what's so wonderful is you've got that existing material. You've got the book Wicked, and you've got the wonderful book that Winnie Holtzman wrote,
Yeah.
and then the beautiful music by Stephen Schwartz. And then what's so incredible is you come into the shoes, these enormous shoes of Carol Shelley, who created the role, and then through the years, this is going to be the 6,000th performance tonight.
Yeah.
So after these many years, you've got the ghost of all these other people who've played it. And so I was given the opportunity to not be that Morrible, but to create my own Morrible. And there's leeway in there. So hopefully it's a fresh take on something.
No, it's phenomenal. And this year, Wicked celebrates 15 years that it's been on Broadway, which means that it's also been 15 years since you made your Broadway debut in The Boy from Oz. What I know, it was one of the first, I'd moved to the city. It was one of the first musicals I saw after I moved here. And I remember just being blown away by that show as a whole, but you especially just killed me in that audience. Like, I mean, just your performance as Judy was incredible.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I was given the gift of playing her, so she's the genius. And then I just hope to do an homage to her, which I'm very grateful to this day. I'm so grateful.
Well, I mean,
and it is kind of full circle now, isn't it?
Right, because that's when, absolutely, with,
Oz to Oz.
From
So
Oz to Oz,
were
exactly.
Boy from Oz, meaning Australia, but there you had Judy Garland, who was Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz,
right?
Who features in the play in Wicked,
Yep.
In ways that people will see when they come and see it. Get your butt over there.
And also, you were working with Stephanie J. Block,
Stephanie.
who would become an Elphaba.
Yes, she played my daughter Liza Minnelli.
Oh, so good.
Such a gem.
I love that show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
This might be an appropriate segue. I have to apologize to Hugh. I haven't seen his movie yet, The Greatest Showman.
The Greatest Showman.
However, plug there for them. Kiala Settle. Power. And but my niece has seen it 7 times, so that excuses me.
Well, this is a lot of people have. Like, it's become this huge hit, sort of under the radar a little bit.
Well, I know it's kind of odd for Live at 5, perhaps, but I have a prop.
If you have props, we love props. This is your segment, Isabel Keating. This is your time.
Right now, we're going to have the maracas from The Boy from Oz.
Look at
which
these.
Hugh Jackman gave us for opening night. Can everybody see that?
Wow. Look, it's a piece of Broadway history right here. That is amazing.
Well,
so he gave these to everyone?
To everyone, along with many other gifts that he gave us. We love you, Hugh.
And do you play these at home? Do you entertain guests
Every
with
night.
your maraca?
Yeah, my husband says, put those away.
You're like, no, we have people coming over. No, but it was interesting. So do you, obviously playing somebody like Judy Garland, there's a lot of research, I'm assuming, involved in that sort of like watching and reading and all that. But you've also narrated a documentary about Judy Garland. Do you feel like, is she a kismet like spirit to you now? Like, do you feel like you have this, relationship with Judy Garland from all your...
I love that you asked this question because it's something that I haven't been able to describe. So I'll see if I can put it into words. I'll tell you that prior to The Boy from Oz, I didn't really know much about her. I knew I loved her in The Wizard of Oz.
Sure, yeah.
But all of a sudden, I started, a couple of years before, I started doing little bits of Judy. I played in The Rise and Fall of Little Voice. I played Little Voice.
Right.
And I did her voice, so that wasn't the body attached to it. But then later I was given the opportunity to put a body to it in a reading of another play. And then I was given the opportunity to audition for her as the full-on person. So I did the research. At the time, it was kind of the olden days prior to internet. So I got DVDs and looked at books and everything. And she's... And then I thought after The Boy from Oz that she would go away to someone else. And she's followed me everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, there'll be just a little reminder. And who else would I love?
Right, like there's no complaints there.
Not at all. She's incredible.
Right, and I found reading up on you more today, I found your earlier life so interesting. I do want to, we'll take some questions from fans and all of that. But so you left Savannah, Georgia when you were still pretty young, right? Like you left school and then you just lived like a nomadic lifestyle for a while, right? Like
that's incredible that you know that. You're such a good sleuth. That was a long time
I was
ago.
very interested, and so, but and you went to Europe, and you spent like, what was that? Do you feel like that prepared you for the performer that you are today?
Without question, I recommend that everyone travel. If you can, if you have the means, if you have the time, I recommend everyone see the world. I was fortunate in that I was born in Savannah, Georgia, of my father, who was originally from there. My mother was Spanish.
Right.
So I grew up with kind of that 2 different accents happening all the time, not quite knowing what to do with it. And never learned Spanish. We rejected it. And I studied French at school. I always had an ear for languages. And then I had an opportunity to go visit my cousins in Spain. And it was
Spain's
crazy,
beautiful.
so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm so lucky because after I was there for a month, and after the I think 2.5 weeks, something dropped, a penny dropped in my head, and steam was coming out of my head, and all of a sudden I was like, Graciela, yo entiendo la diferencia entre estaba y estuve, and I understood the difference in the verb tense, and from there it was just like, Mom, why didn't you teach me when we were little?
Right.
But yeah, and then thereafter I went back, ended up living on and off about 5 years
Oh, wow.
in Europe. Yeah,
Right.
French
And just the
Spanish.
observations you must have been able to make, and the
Yes.
different languages to read and listen in, and
One of the things that I think it really brought me to the stage was the differences in culture, which I noticed when I got back. I felt it was so clear in my mind. There was a moment where I was literally setting the table with my mother. We were putting the tablecloth on. I was speaking something, and I said, Mom, I feel like a different person when I speak English. And then when I speak Spanish, I feel like a completely other different person. And then when I speak French, I feel like somebody else. She said, Isabel, don't worry, it's normal. And moved on from there. I was like, oh.
yeah.
And then so now on stage, I can channel
Get to be on those
these
different people.
things.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I also I want to say a shout. I love how on your website you describe yourself as an interested human.
Oh,
I just
thank
think that's
you.
such a beautifully well put, like just a way to present yourself.
Thank
I think
you.
it's amazing.
I do love talking to people.
Yeah,
and you.
well, thank you, Caitlin. What would the fans like to know? What do they ask?
Okay, the fans have so many questions because Wicked fans always come through,
They're
and we
legion.
love you for that.
Yes.
But George would like to know if you got any advice from Stephanie J. Block before you went into Wicked.
You two are still very close, right?
Yes, we are. She has a gorgeous family.
She does.
And I love her. She's an incredible talent. And she did give me words of advice for Wicked. She just said, Mama, I love you. You're the best. Go do it.
That warms my heart.
Yeah.
Just knowing that.
Yeah,
that
it gives me the
happened.
shivers.
It's go-
We're still got that relationship.
That kinship, yeah.
It's more like sisters now, but,
Mhm.
but yeah,
No, that's beautiful.
it's full-hearted. Yeah.
Peyton would like to know, what lessons do you think audiences learn from the show that makes them love it so much?
Oh my goodness, that is a great question.
great question.
We have, I think, so many different levels of this play, and of course, you're asking it from Madame Marable's point of view. So watch out what you take away from
right.
this. I think that one of the things is definitely tolerance, or for lack of a better word, conviviality, a way of being together in the world, being understanding and open to other people's differences. Because for a while there, the going is rough between these the protagonists of the play, which I consider both of them, both Elphaba and Glinda, to be
Absolutely.
protagonists in the play, and they both end up being heroines in the play. So I believe there's that. I believe there is kind of, maybe I would say, everything is not necessarily what it seems. And remember the old adage, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. That's from The Wizard of Oz. I would say that applies as well. Always give a second look. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
And so many other lessons that you can take away from this. Is, just sail away with the music and listen to the lyrics, and it will tell you everything.
Right. No,
Yeah.
it's very, and I know that when you were with the tour, the tour went to Orlando not too long after the tragic Pulse nightclub shooting. And you were saying
Absolutely.
that there's this connection between the LGBTQ community and
Yes.
Broadway and a show like this. Like
Yes,
it's
this-
very powerful.
This
and-
play speaks to everyone. I believe that if anyone, and I think there's not a soul among us who can say that we've not suffered a hardship or suffered bullying or suffered being, considering myself or oneself less than someone else, or being told that you can't do something because of the color of your skin, or in this case, green,
Right.
or your orientation, which, by the way, I love your bracelet.
Oh, thank you. Yes,
I
we
love my
are.
little
We're
matching
repping
earrings.
here
Yes,
on
we
Live
are.
at Night.
So we love the rainbow.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Stanford has an interesting question. Isabel, this might sound creepy, but do you remember what Hugh Jackman smelled like?
But very specific. Yeah.
Indeed, I do. No need to say more.
He smelled like Oz.
Delicious.
You see-
He's the greatest showman.
Exactly.
All right, and final question from Isabella. What is your favorite scene to do in Wicked, and what is one of the most memorable moments you had on tour?
Oh, thanks, Isabella. That's L.A. added to mine. Right? I'm terribly sorry. I'm at a loss. I can't say that there's a favorite one. I love every single scene that I have with each of the actors, and especially our incredible ensemble.
Yeah.
From the wings, I watch the Ozdos Ballroom, and it's just an incredible experience. And then I also watch from the wings. I love all the scenes that I'm not in because sometimes I can see them before I enter. The silent dance between Elphaba and Galinda. And what was the second part of the question?
An experience on tour,
Yeah,
like a
favorite memory
memorable
on tour.
experience.
Every single city.
Touring life is.
Yes, it's very different.
It's very different.
In all these years, I'd never toured before, and so it was such.
It's usually how up and coming actors get started, and then they.
Oh my gosh, it's such a gift. Thank you, Wicked. To also that family, you grow so strong with one another.
Because you spend all day with each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And every single city that I had the opportunity to go to, we would always make a point of going to explore the local situation and the food and the people, and we were always welcomed so generously. And I think that was the highlight.
Yeah.
Is despite whatever weather there might be, it was, speaking of weather, Madame Marvel, my change in the weather.
But
and
you
also
forget.
the audience is outside the stage door. I just love the variety of people coming out, standing outside the stage door, which you guys do for us here in New York too, but on tour. So thanks for that question, Isabella.
Yeah, we forget being here and in this community how like not everyone across the country gets to see these shows, and so when these tours come, like this, it's a huge deal. It's so awesome.
It really is.
Right, and Madame Morrible also has the best costumes in the show.
Yes,
you absolutely
I do not deny that.
They're amazing.
No, come and see my feathers.
Yes. Well,
thank you, Susan Hilferty.
Yes.
There's a reason she won that Tony.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you,
We
Ryan.
loved having you. Tell where can they follow you somewhere?
yes.
Yeah.
I am trying to be a little more fun on the Insta. So Isabel
Insta's the
Keating.
best, yeah.
I know, because I can post my food.
Right.
I love to cook.
Right.
And sometimes I tweet Isabel X Keating.
All right.
X for that crash you hear from the thunder.
Exactly. Well, make sure you follow her. Make sure you go see Wicked at the Gershwin Theater. I don't think we have to tell you that, but go see Wicked. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again.
Come see us at the stage door.
Yes,
too.
absolutely. And Caitlin, why don't you take us out and tell us who we'll be talking to tomorrow?
All right. Well, if you are a fan of Live at 5, keep listening. Keep watching us every day at 5 p.m. on our Facebook page. And you can also subscribe to our podcast if you would rather listen to this in a more on-the-go kind of experience. Just go to Apple, search Live at 5. You'll find us. Rate us, review it, download it. And tomorrow, we will be welcoming... I can't see. Kate Finneran from At Home with the Zoo. It's a great show. Y'all should see it and tune in tomorrow. I'll see you all later.